This is the recreation of Lorax, also known as my version of Lorax by me, based off the book made by Dr. Suess. And that is our version of the story and what it looks like. It all started off with this boy wanting to know more about trees. He had all these questions that couldn't be answered, like how are trees made? What are their purpose? Why do we have them? And he heard about this man that lived on the outskirts of town that had all the knowledge he needed. So he set off to his house seeking information, wanting to know more about trees. And he asked the man his questions and he proceeded to tell him the story. It all started with this man, this new businessman, trying to seek adventure and his purpose. He wanted to start a business, but nobody in his family supported him, so he went out into the world trying to prove them wrong. He traveled the world trying to find something that could help his business, and eventually he came across these peculiar, strange trees, but he liked them for some reason. He thought, they'll help me at some point. So he got out of his car, his wagon, and said, I'll set up here for now. He continued to explore the environment and came across some of the animals and wildlife. But they weren't just normal animals. There were fish that could walk and talk, and bears and ducks, but they weren't all normal. This was a magical place, a special place. Maybe it was meant for him. He said, I'll set up here for now. Let's see how this goes. And he continued to try to grow his business here. And then he chopped down a tree. All the animals were in shock because it felt like they were disobeying their environment, going against their home. But the Lorax didn't care. The Onceler didn't care. He proceeded and he chopped down the tree. And then there was a stump. And then the Lorax appeared out of the stump. He spoke, I'm the Lorax, I speak for the trees. Then he continued to tell the Onceler, you can't do that here, buddy. This is a nice, calm environment where the animals live, and you're disobeying their home. You have to leave. Then the Onceler said, I'm staying here. You can't tell me what to do. And then the Lorax proceeded to tell him, okay, but there's going to be repercussions. And the Onceler did not care, and he continued to do what he did. He continued to chop down more and more trees, trying to grow his business and eventually set up shop. And then he used the top of the trees to make his money, and he created these clothing brand that he made from the top of the trees with this soft material. And eventually, he made a lot of money from them and was able to set up a factory for his products. And he got caught up in the wealth and the fame and the money. And he didn't care about the environment anymore or the animals or what the Lorax said to him. There were no more animals left in the environment or trees, barely any left. They all started to fade away. All the trees that we first saw in the environment of the forest, and it was amazing and pretty, all were left with this one tree left out of the whole forest of trees that were there before. And eventually he went to go cut down trees for his business, and then he cut down the last tree, not caring. That led to deforestation. There were no trees left out of the whole environment, the whole forest, and he couldn't continue to grow his business. Customers got angry, and he couldn't do anything about it. Eventually, the Lorax came out of the stump and talked to him, and wanted to realize what he did, but he could not reverse it. He felt remorse and sorrow, and he was sorry for what he did, and he couldn't do anything to fix it. And then that's when the Lorax came out of his stump, when the animals were hoping for some type of hope. And with his magical powers, he managed to bring back the world and back all the trees. And he fixed the environment. He was able to bring all the animals back together, and the Onceler was sorry for his acts, so everything worked out. So that is the end of the Lorax and why there are trees. In this case, for the story, not in real life. And it was made by me and my family. So thank you for watching, and that is my recreation of the Lorax.